Most of us spend our lives building a comfort zone. We find a job that pays the bills, we learn the names of our neighbors, and we follow the same path every single day. For a long time, we feel safe. But as we get older, we realize that safety can be a trap. We look at our reflection and wonder if this is all there is. We dream of something bigger, a business of our own, a new skill, or a life where we are the ones in control. But then, reality hits us. We realize that change is expensive, not just in dollars, but in the energy and time we have left. Let me tell you about Thomas. Thomas was 45 years old and had worked as a clerk at a large shipping company for 22 years. He knew every file, every desk, and every face in that building. He felt secure, which means protected and not likely to fail. But one Tuesday afternoon, the world changed. The company was bought by a giant corporation, and Thomas was told his job no longer existed. He walked out of the building with nothing but a small box of pens and a very quiet phone. For the first week, Thomas felt paralyzed, which means unable to act or move because of shock or fear. He sat in his kitchen at 10 o'clock in the morning, watching the rain, wondering how he would support his family. He had a small amount of savings, which is money you keep in the bank for the future, but he knew it wouldn't last forever. He felt redundant, which is a word we use when a worker is no longer needed because there is no more work for them to do. One evening, while Thomas was fixing a broken wooden chair for his daughter, he noticed something. He enjoyed the smell of the wood. He liked the feeling of the sandpaper in his hand. He realized he had spent 20 years pushing paper, but his hands were meant for building. He had a vision, which is the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination. He wanted to open a small workshop to repair and create custom furniture. However, Thomas knew the truth about dreams. He remembered his grandfather telling him that nothing is free. You cannot simply wish for a new life, you have to trade your old life for it. He didn't have the capital, the money you need to start a business, to rent a professional shop, or buy expensive power saws. He had to be resourceful, which means being good at finding ways to solve problems with whatever you have. Thomas started in his cold, dark garage. He didn't have heaters or fancy lights. He woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work on old furniture he found left on the street. He would clean the wood, repair the legs, and polish the surface until it looked brand new. This was his investment, which is the act of putting in time or effort now to get a benefit later. His neighbors saw the light on in his garage at 11 o'clock at night and thought he was crazy. But Thomas wasn't crazy. He was determined, which means having a strong feeling that you will do something and not let anyone stop you. The first few months were a struggle, a very difficult task that requires a lot of effort. He tried to sell his first chair at a local market. He stood there for 8 hours in the cold wind, but no one bought anything. People walked past and didn't even look at his work. He felt defeated, which is the feeling that you have failed and want to stop trying. He went home and looked at his hands, which were covered in small cuts and dust. He asked himself, is the price too high? But the next morning, he didn't stay in bed. He went back to the garage at 6 o'clock in the morning. He realized he needed feedback, which is information about how good or useful your work is. He asked a local furniture store owner to look at his chairs. The owner was blunt, which means being very honest and direct, even if it might hurt someone's feelings. He told Thomas, "Your wood is good, but your design is old-fashioned. You need to learn modern styles." Thomas didn't get angry. He took this as a challenge, a difficult task that tests your ability. He spent his nights at the local library looking at design books and learning about minimalism, which is a style that is very simple and uses only the most necessary elements. He was humble, which means not thinking you are better than others and being willing to learn from everyone. Slowly, his work began to change. He wasn't just fixing furniture anymore, he was transforming it. To transform means to change the form or character of something completely. He posted a photo of a simple oak table on a community website. Within 1 hour, 3 people had messaged him. He sold the table for more money than he used to make in 2 days at the shipping company. This was a milestone, a very important stage or event in the development of his new life. But success is a double-edged sword, which is a situation that has both positive and negative parts. As Thomas got more orders, he realized he was running out of space. He was working 15 hours a day, and his back was constantly aching. He had no leisure time, the time when you are not working and can relax. His wife was worried about his health, but Thomas told her, "I am paying for our freedom." Every hour in the garage is a payment toward a life where no one can tell me I'm redundant again. He decided it was time to expand, which means to become larger or to move into a new area. He looked for a small shop to rent, but the overhead, the regular costs of running a business, like rent and electricity, was very high. He felt that familiar fear again. Moving from the garage to a real shop was a leap of faith, which is an act of believing in something even though it is risky. Thomas stood in front of a small, empty shop on the corner of a busy street. The windows were dirty, and the sign above the door was hanging by a single screw. It was a fixer-upper, which is a building or object that needs a lot of work to be in good condition. Taking this shop was a huge commitment, which is a promise to give your time and energy to something. He signed the lease, the legal agreement to pay rent, and felt his stomach drop. He was no longer just a man with a hobby in a garage. He was a business owner. In the first month, disaster struck. Thomas was working on a very expensive table for a new customer when his main power saw suddenly made a loud noise and stopped working. The motor was burnt out, which means it had stopped working because of too much heat or use. A new saw would cost $2,000. Thomas sat on a pile of wood and put his head in his hands. He didn't have that kind of money. He felt vulnerable, which means being in a position where you can be easily hurt or criticized. He realized that nothing is free also means that success requires maintenance. The work needed to keep something in good condition. He had been so busy working that he forgot to take care of his tools. He almost called his old boss at the shipping company to ask for his old job back. But then, he remembered the look of pride, a feeling of deep satisfaction in your own achievements he saw in his daughter's eyes when he fixed her chair. He couldn't go back. He decided to be transparent with his customer. To be transparent means to be open and honest without hiding anything. He called the man and explained the situation. He expected the man to be angry, but instead, the customer was sympathetic, which means showing that you understand and care about someone else's problems. The customer offered to pay for half of the table in advance, which means paying for something before it is finished. This gesture of trust gave Thomas enough money to buy a second-hand saw and finish the job. As the months passed, Thomas realized he could no longer do everything alone. He was overstretched, which means trying to do more than you can handle. He needed an apprentice, a person who is learning a trade from a skilled employer. He hired a young man named Sam who had been struggling to find work. Thomas didn't just teach Sam how to cut wood. He taught him that integrity, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, is the most important tool in the shop. He told Sam, "If you make a mistake, don't hide it. Fix it. That is the price of quality." 1 year after losing his job at the shipping company, Thomas held a grand opening for his shop, now called the Second Chance Woodshop. The room was filled with the smell of fresh cedar and the sound of people laughing. His old coworkers from the office came to visit. They looked at his calloused hands and his dusty apron with admiration, a feeling of respect and warm approval. One of them asked, "Thomas, don't you miss the air conditioning and the steady paycheck?" Thomas looked around his shop. He saw Sam helping a customer, he saw the beautiful furniture he had created from nothing, and he felt a fulfillment, a feeling of happiness because you are doing something useful that he had never felt in 20 years of office work. He smiled and said, "The office was comfortable, but it wasn't mine. Here, I pay a high price every day. I pay in sweat, I pay in worry, and I pay in hard work. But what I get in return is a life I actually enjoy living." Thomas's story teaches us that security is not about having a job. It is about having skills and the courage to use them. Many people stay in situations that make them unhappy because they are afraid of the cost of change. They are afraid of the early mornings, the difficult lessons, and the risk of failure. But staying where you are also has a cost. It costs you your potential, the qualities or abilities that may be developed and lead to future success. As we reach the end of this story, look at your own hands. Look at your own life. Are you waiting for someone to give you a better life for free? Or are you ready to pick up your tools and start building it yourself? Remember, the path to success is steep, which means rising or falling at a sharp angle, making it difficult to climb. But the view from the top is only beautiful because you know how much it cost you to get there. Your journey in learning English is exactly like Thomas's workshop. Some days, your tools will feel broken. You will feel discouraged when you forget a word or make a mistake with your grammar. But that frustration is just the price you are paying for your future fluency, the ability to speak a language easily and well. Every minute you spend listening to these stories is an investment in your future self. We would love to hear from you. What is a second chance you have taken in your life? Did you leave a job, start a new hobby, or move to a new city? How did you pay the price for that change? Share your experience in the comments below. Your stories help other people in this community feel inspired, filled with the urge or ability to do or feel something creative. Thank you for spending your time with us today. If you want to continue building your English skills and hearing stories that challenge your mind, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are here to support you in every step of your growth. Remember, nothing is free, but with persistence, everything is possible.